I'm not even gonna waste your time because this is 100% yes. I don't know how to describe this book besides weird. Oh, you're tired of seeing this book. I know you are. I will judge a book by its cover. I'm sorry, I literally cannot help it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. If you clicked on the title of today's video, you already know what we're getting into. We are getting into BookTok books and if they are worth it or not. I have a list of books that I've read that I see on BookTok all the time. Maybe I personally found them myself on BookTok. These aren't all of them, and I haven't read all of them, but these are the ones that I have read. These are the ones I want to talk about specifically today. So I pulled a bunch of the BookTok books down from my shelves so that you didn't have to waste your time reading them if I think that they're not good. If me and you have the same taste whatsoever. Again, take this with a grain of salt. A book I hated or loved, you might think the exact opposite of. I just am here today to try and help give you guys some book recommendations. That way you can see if these books are worth your time reading, because we all know that there are so many books and so little time. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I also don't know if I love this headband thing that we have going on here. I don't know, whatever. Alrighty, this is in no particular order at all. I'm just grabbing them as I have them in the pile in front of me. Starting off with The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now today, I'm not gonna give you guys really like a summary rundown of each book, just because you can either go look it up on Goodreads, or if you're interested in one of these books I'm talking about, you probably already have a gist of what the book is about. If you don't, go look it up. Really today, I'm just here to tell you if I liked them, what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, etc, etc. So maybe that makes me a bad booktuber, I don't know, but that is how I'm doing my video today. So yes. Anyways, Taylor Jenkins Reid is a highly acclaimed author. A lot of her books are on BookTok. I will say this is probably the most popular of her books on BookTok. I don't really know where that stemmed from, but everyone loves Taylor Jenkins Reid, and for me, she is very hit or miss. For me, I really liked Daisy Jones and the Six, and for this one, it was not so much. I will say that I did rate it, I think 3 stars or so. So it was very middle of the road for me. It was good, but I think I went into it with the like overhyped preconceived notions about this book. And to be honest, I don't think that it was worth my time. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't be worth your time. It just wasn't worth my time. There was just a lot going. I can't even remember what, like, I literally can't even tell you guys because I don't remember. So yeah, just kind of middle of the road. This is a maybe. Next, and I've probably talked y'all's ear off about this book / series forever, but I have Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I would not have known about this book if it wasn't for TikTok, and I know BookTok can sometimes get a bad rep, but I love BookTok just for recommending me this book alone. This book / series is just, it's like no other. It is very thick. They're all very thick, and each one gets thicker. In the first book, we follow Magnolia and the box set, her friends. And then in the second book, we follow Daisy and her family. So you're going kind of like back and forth, and the series is almost complete, not quite. So if that's something that's kind of, you know, throwing you off from reading it, I get it. But I also want to tell you to not wait any longer to read this series because it's magical. Jessa Hastings' writing is literally like no other. It is very poetic, but also very easy to read. On BookTok, you will get fed this through the lens of like, this is like Gossip Girl, and I've never watched Gossip Girl, so I don't really know. But I wouldn't go into these books with that in mind, just because from what I've heard from other readers out there who have watched Gossip Girl, it's like meh. I don't know. I would just go into this book without that in mind. Get to know the characters separate from Gossip Girl because they are so deep and twisted and just like crazy. It is very drama-y, it is very gossipy. I just love it, and these covers are everything. I get these covers. Well, these are like the original covers that they used to print in the US, but you can still get these covers through like a European book site. Now I have a very dawn of booktok book pick, and that is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I'm not even gonna waste your time because this is 100% yes, you should read this book. This book changed my life. I kind of forget about it sometimes, but not in a bad way. I do still think that this is one of my favorite books of all time, especially like in the romance genre. But this book is totally worth the hype. It is a childhood friends to lovers, which I love dearly. I love it so, so much. It's done so, so well. I can't say the same for the rest of their books, but just know that you should definitely get onto this one. It was heartbreakingly beautiful and I just love it so much. Like, I will always recommend this book to anyone who's starting reading because this is one of the books that kind of got me back into reading when I started reading again. And I will always be grateful for that because this book was just, it set my expectations really, really high. Next, getting away from some of the romance, but we will be back. But just for now, I'm gonna break it up with a fiction recommendation, and that is My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh. And for me, this is a yes. If you don't like weird kind of, I really don't know how to describe this book besides weird. It's kind of weird. Like, I really don't know. If you're not into that, if you've maybe read like Bunny or any of those books and didn't like it, maybe this one's not for you. It is just very mundane and kind of bleak because we're just following like the mundaneness of this girl's journey of sleeping for a year. So if that's not catching you, don't read it. If weird books and intriguing books entice you, definitely read it. I loved it. It's one of the first fiction books that I've ever really read, I feel like. That's probably not true. That's definitely not true. But it's one of the ones that I actively, you know, remember, and it was one of the first books back into my reading journey that was strictly fiction. And I thought it was cool. Like, it's such a weird concept for a book, and it caught me right away. Obviously, the cover is everything. I will judge a book by its cover. I'm sorry, I literally cannot help it. But yeah, I think this is kind of like a maybe. It really just depends on your taste. If you're like me and you like just like really fucking weird books, read it. Alrighty, I feel like we've been on a yes train, so I'm gonna derail that train with a no, and that is Credence by Penelope Douglas. I went into this book knowing nothing about it. I'm very embarrassed that I even went inside of a Barnes & Noble's and bought this book. Like, the bookseller knew what I was reading and sold this to me, and I will always be embarrassed for that. I'm not saying you should be embarrassed for reading this book. If you loved this book, good for you. For me, it just was not it. If you don't know anything about this book like I didn't, it's a romance with her father's stepbrother, if that makes sense. It's weird. I don't know. I can't do it. It's really, in retrospect, it's not that weird. It's obviously completely legal, but for me, it just crossed the line and really icked me out. Again, it's not legal, or it's not illegal. Did I say legal earlier? It's not illegal. They're not blood related, but something about it really icked me out. I think this could have been good if it didn't have that premise in it. But yeah, I did read this full thick book of weird shit going down. Again, I actually feel really bad if this is one of your favorite books. I am not judging you. You know what? I think that the romance was great. I think Penelope Douglas knows how to write romance in a way that's kind of entertaining. But this one is just not for me. I'm sorry. Next, I have another series, and that is no other than A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I know you're tired of seeing this book. I know you are. I get it. But if you were ever wondering if you should dabble in fantasy, if you're kind of like new to booktok and you keep seeing this one and you're tired of it, just go ahead and pick it up for me. Okay, just go ahead and pick it up for me. Please do not be scared of all the booktalkers saying that this book sucks, because this is the first book. It doesn't, in my opinion. I reread it recently and I still think it's a 5 stars. I think it is a great starter fantasy. As you keep going along in the series, it gets more in depth, but I think that this does a great job of world building for beginners. I think it is perfect. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which you can kind of see in this one. It does kind of drop that like retelling act after this book, really. But I loved it. I think it's so fun. It gets high stakes at the end. You get drawn in. You're gonna want to read the next book right away. Again, if you are a beginner in fantasy, this is definitely a great place to start. You've probably already heard it, but if you just needed that push, this is your push. This is your push to read this book because it will always be my number one. This series in general is definitely my number one. Like, there are no and ifs or buts about it. I'll never shut up. I'll never shut up. Next, I have a thriller, and that is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I don't have the book on me. I read it on my Kindle. This is gonna be a hard no if you are a thriller enthusiast, if that is your genre. Maybe it's a yes. Thriller and mystery is just not my genre. I get really mad when I can guess the outcome. Like, if I can guess the outcome in a thriller book and that happens, I'm like automatically like, it's less than a 3 stars. And that's what happened with me in Silent Patient. I immediately guessed it. I don't understand the hype around it. I do understand like the hype around thrillers in general. Jaw-dropping thrillers are always gonna be better than like a conventional romance to me. But it's very, very hard for me personally to find a very good like twisty thriller, which is my fault alone. Like, if I would just read the book instead of trying to guess what's gonna happen every second, maybe I would have been more surprised, but it didn't do it for me. I think the premise was cool, but I immediately knew what was gonna happen. And so basically I had read all those pages for nothing. You know what I mean? It made me mad. And so for that reason, I don't think you should read it. There are better thrillers out there. I'm not gonna give you a list right now because I'm not your thriller girly. Like, I'm really not. Go to like someone whose genre is thriller, because obviously mine is not. And you might find something that's more worth your while than The Silent Patient. Along with that little thriller mystery aspect, I'm gonna get into The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This is one of the first thriller mysteries that I have ever read. And to me, I have mixed feelings on it. I think it was okay. I don't know. To be honest, I don't think it's worth your time. Again, I guessed the outcome. It's been years since I've read it, so I can't really get into much detail for you guys. Do remember liking the second one better. I'm pretty sure it is a trilogy with one novella. From friends, I've heard that the third one is atrocious. They are making it into a movie, so if you are one of those people who has to read the book before watching the movie, definitely read it because I know it's coming out soon. They've already wrapped filming, or have they? I could be literally pulling that out of my ass. I don't know. They are making it a movie. That is for sure 100% the truth. So if you're one of those people, definitely read it. If you are not a thriller girly and you are just pressured to read this because you see it everywhere, don't read it, because that's how I felt. And it wasn't necessarily a waste of time because all of Frida McFadden's books are very fast-paced, but I didn't need to read it. Next, I have a book from the queen herself, Emily Henry, and that is Funny Story. I feel like all of her books circulate BookTok, but right now, I feel like this is what I'm seeing the most of. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I have definitely talked up and down about this book on this channel before. This is a 1010% yes. I've recommended it to so many people. Shane's mom has like read it like, I don't know how many times, more than once since I've recommended it to her. I've put her on the Emily Henry hype train, and I think that this is just the perfect romance. I loved it so much, and I was never really like on the Emily Henry hype train. Happy Place, which released a year before this one, definitely got me, but this one is definitely what made me like Emily Henry super stan, because this book means so much to me. I've already reread it. It came out last year, and I've re-listened to it, and I think that this is 100% worth your time. It is the perfect little romance. It's fast, it has banter, it's got like real nice themes. If you want something that's a little bit more hard-hitting than like just a romance with a lot of smut, pick this one up because you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, and then you're gonna read her whole bookography, if that's even a word, and you're gonna love Emily Henry. And then when her next book comes out in, I don't know when y'all are seeing this, but it comes out this month, you'll be caught up and you'll be ready. So next I have a little bit of a YA recommendation for you guys, and that is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Again, this is one of those books that I would have never picked up if it wasn't for Book Talk, and so for that I am extremely grateful, which means this can be no other than a yes, you need to read this. It is so cute. I know if you're not into YA, maybe skip this one. I have said time and time again that Lynn Painter is probably the best author at writing YA in my opinion. It's not cringy. If you're an adult and you're reading a not childish book, but a book that's for a younger audience than you're automatically gonna be like kind of icked out by the things that they do because you've done them before most likely, and you look back on that time in your life and you're like, what the fuck was I doing? But in my opinion, Lynn Painter does a very, very good job of not making her YA books cringy whatsoever. This book was actually very, very cute. And if you're like me and you love rom-coms, just like the main character of this book, each chapter starts with a quote from a rom-com or like a romance movie. So cute. There is a second one. I haven't read it. I do feel like the story left off perfectly here. It's so cute and it's so refreshing. I think it's perfect for this time of year. It's springy. It's just cute. Like, I don't know how many times I'm gonna say cute, but that's what encapsulates this book. Alrighty, you guys, I have one last book for you guys, and that can be no other than Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. And I have a very mixed opinion about this book slash series in general. This first book, Fourth Wing, it's a part of the Empyrean series, if you didn't know. But this book in particular is a 5-star read for me. I loved it so much. It's also one of those books that kind of got me into fantasy, especially dragons. I did not think dragons could be as cool as they are, but this book has definitely made me a dragon girly. I love fantasy books with dragons now. So that is what I'll say about the first book. I think that this book in particular deserves all the hype, but when we start getting into the second and third book, Iron Flame and newly released Onyx Storm, that is where I kind of falter. I think that Rebecca Yarros has tried to make this series into a very digestible fantasy for people who are not necessarily either huge fans of fantasy or kind of new to the genre. In that sense, she does a lot less world building than a normal fantasy would. And for me, that has made the rest of the series fall flat. And this one, it's great. It works perfectly. I think it did the right amount of world building with the right amount of relationships and romance. But as we go on, I'll just pull out this book for you guys to see. Here is the difference in the thickness. This book was unnecessary to say the least. I just didn't like it. I didn't like this one. I didn't really necessarily love the third one. Will I continue to read the series as it comes out? Yes, I want to be a part of the hype. I need to know what happens. So maybe that doesn't make it necessarily awful, but it wasn't my favorite considering following a 5-star read for me. So in my opinion, it's a yes. I know people love the second and third books. So again, like I said at the beginning of this video, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. Because again, I am gonna finish the series. I am gonna be, you know, hyping up the 4th and 5th book when it finally comes out. I'm thinking a lot of the issues with the second and third book for me is that they have all been released very, very quickly within each other. And I think that's kind of doing Rebecca Yarros a disservice with her books. So I am still excited to see what happens in the rest of the series. Again, if you're new to fantasy, there's not a lot of world building. So for me, that's where it falls flat. But if you're new, I think this is gonna be perfect for you, and you're gonna love the romance and you're gonna love the characters. And it's just gonna make you wanna read more fantasy, which I think is always great because I am a fantasy lover. Alrighty guys, that was all the book talk books that I have for you today. Again, I've read probably a lot more. You probably see a lot more on the shelves behind me. But these are the ones that I just feel like always come up if you're looking for recommendations on TikTok. They're just the most popular, I feel like, in my opinion. So I hope you guys got some good recommendations. I hope you guys kind of got a feel for some of the books that you might actually want to pick up now. Let me know down below, what is your favorite BookTok book of all time? Because we all have one. It's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I love TikTok. I love BookTok. So let me know down below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a like, maybe subscribe if you're feeling like it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.